Hey, good morning, everybody, or good afternoon, everybody. It's Monday, February 15th, 1:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time in the home of the American Revolution and future home for the conscious awakening evolution of humanity as we start to realize that we've been living a materialistic, money-based, satanistic world program that has just captured all of human consciousness into the most dreadful dark ages that we've ever seen, where we're most detached from our tribe, our family, our God, our stars, our community, ourselves. Just the worst that we could possibly imagine we've enabled through digital illusions of wealth, through debt, death, and deception, through cowering to people who lied us into wars, lie us into debts, lie us into taking our powers away. And there's only one way out, folks, and I've been saying it for 10 years, almost to the day, because it was February 25th, 2011, that I wrote the Silver Bullet, Silvershield as the only way of fighting back a massive global consciousness, criminal mind control that has warped all of humanity, going back to Jesus times. There's only one way out to end all this. It is to end the criminal banking system that has given rise to the media complex, the war complex, the political complex, all of it. Everybody is bought and sold by money, and when the dollar dies, so goes everything. And that's what we're dealing with right now. It's not silver squeeze. It's not Wall Street silver on Reddit. It's not any of this stuff. It's not Bitcoin. Not any of this stuff. It's coming to an end of what cannot go on much longer without literally ending human existence as it is. We are malnourished, we're overweight, we have psychological problems, we definitely have debt problems, we have societal structures, we have more young adults living with their parents, including myself. At this time in age, I'm doing it willingly so I can invest more money into physical silver. But at some point, the bill's going to come due, and when it does, all they're going to do is keep printing more and more money. And when that happens into a hyperinflation. People have been wondering why, I've been pounding this for 10 years. I didn't get distracted by the Tea Party. I didn't get distracted by cryptocurrencies. I didn't get distracted by Trump coming to save the day and getting rid of the deep state. No, there was never any other solution other than physical silver as a means of exposing the largest criminal financial fraud of all time. 148 years, folks, they've manipulated the value of the most important form of money, which is silver. This is the money that used to, flow through all the countries like China and India and the United States that made them so prosperous and grow so large with large populations because we had honest weights and measurements. People couldn't accumulate vast sums of money without actually having their values and their morals and their knowing the people around them and creating value for other people. That's what silver money does. As soon as you introduce debt money, it then turns into a gambling thing where he who has the most memes is going to end up winning. Elon Musk said he who has the memes are going to control the universe. No, Elon, that's not enough. Simply psychologically manipulating people through, memes or psychological warfare or any of these other things that they're using right now to move things around. It's not the solution. In fact, it probably portends the end of this paradigm when we have the Icarus of Elon Musk flying too high with his rocket cocks and the waste of all this human potential into, to basically look out into outer space when we have this planet here suffering is the wrong way to go. And I like to think that I had the only way going forward 10 years ago. And eventually, some people are going to start to do this. I cannot tell you how happy I am to see Wall Street Silver over at Reddit. Silver Bugs, on Reddit, totally bashed me. The mods over there are complete trolls. As soon as I wrote the Silver Bullet, Silvershield, they were there smacking it down, supporting the Ponzi scheme guys out there, and have never given me a fair lick. Now, Wall Street Silver over there on Reddit, 100 times better than Silver Bugs have ever been. In fact, if you're a member of Silver Bugs and not a member of Wall Street Silver, then you got a real problem, because that's the real going forward of this community, the pushing for the memes, the pushing for the truth, rallying the troops. 3 weeks ago, I went nuts on my own Silvershield group. I said it's ridiculous to me that we're at this stage of the game where we've lost all hope of ever reforming this system, whether it's political, financial, even moral reform, is never going to happen. The only thing coming forward is collapse. And I've been predicting this for 10 years, and that silver is going to be the best asset to own. Like I told them, I said, we literally have the holy grail for all of humanity to go, we are in a global generational debt-based fiat Ponzi planet that's going to end horrifically for 7 billion people who have fallen into this digital illusion of wealth and allowing these cunning collectivists to control all of humanity based off of debt, death, and deception. There's only one way out, folks. It's going to be silver, not gold, not Bitcoin, not dollars, not stocks, not bonds, not nothing. I said, we're the Silvershield group for 10 years. I said, you guys need to get off your ass and start doing this. Now, 2 weeks ago, I'm not saying I started Wall Street Silver, but all of a sudden, these memes start coming around, and now it's starting to become a thing. So people have asked me, is this it? Is this the grand silver default that, I've been talking about? I'm going to say yes. I'm going to say by this March, unless they pull another COVID massive psyop, there is going to be a massive run on physical silver, if there isn't already now. Like the very fact that it's so quiet, given the fact that there's billions of dollars flying around, that there is momentum out there, that we clearly see, even over at usadebtclock.org, just the M2 monetary printing of the United States new debt relative to all the silver mined in the world is $4,800 an ounce. $4,800. And people are complaining about $25 silver or premiums? Folks, you are getting it for free. Global generational debt-based fiat Ponzi scheme collapsing. 7 billion people completely drunk on digital illusions of wealth. And we got $25 silver, $27 silver. It's not going to take too long for a massive revaluation of physical silver. And I think it's going to happen that you're going to end up having markets close and then reopen one day. And it'll be multiple times higher. Not 50, not 100, not 500, thousands of dollars per ounce for physical silver. That's what it's going to start taking to clear the market of what is coming. We're at the very tip of a quadrillion dollars of digital illusions of wealth that have nowhere else to go, folks. Not even gold's going to suck all this up. Silver is the most manipulated asset since the crime of 1873. It is the second most versatile commodity in the world next to oil, with 10,000 industrial uses. It is literally the king of all metals. Worth far more than gold is to humanity. All the uses. Gold is gaudy Goldman jewelry. It sits around in vaults. In fact, if you own gold, you're part of the problem. You're part of the debt and death problem. It was the gold men that took away the monetization of silver. And then they eventually created fiat money, now digital money, now mark of the beast, track, trace, tax, and trap all of you. That's the world you want. Keep buying cryptos. Keep banking in the system. Keep hoping, for Elon Musk to come up with some other cryptocurrency so he can then fly off into Mars. Or you can get your shit together and start talking the truth that I've been talking about for 10 years. Go look it up. Silver Bullet, Silvershield. Or the 3,000 videos I did over the past 10 years. And unfortunately, all I'm going to get at the end of the day is after this happens, all the people are going to come to me and go, wow, you were right. I'm not here to be right, folks. I'm here to save people's lives. What's coming is biblical. And I mean biblical. Living hell bad. And never coming back again. We're living in an illusion that will not hold together much longer, folks. And when it starts to unravel, it's going to be massive and on every level. This is not just a financial thing. It's going to ultimately be a spiritual thing. Humanity, societal structures, the pain that's going to be released, the truth that's going to come out, the evil that's going to be exposed, the broke people who have sacrificed everything in this world for money that disappeared overnight, the valuations, the relationships, the societal structures, the corporations, the consuming patterns, the governments, the religions. Nobody saw this coming, folks. I'm standing here as the godfather of the physical stacking movement for the last 10 years, and I'm telling you, it's lonely here. Nobody saw this coming. And until it actually happens, nobody's going to say shit to you about it. Because everybody else that listens to my music, they do it all for themselves. They come up with their own little thing, but they don't go out there like Wall Street Silver's been doing and pounding the table that this is the only way forward, folks. Not cryptos, not gold, not dollars, not stocks, not Elon Musk, not Donald J. Trump, not Biden, not the Catholic Church, not communism. None of that shit's going to work. Because it's all going to fall apart. It's all going to be exposed. What's going to be left standing is truth, what is true, and silver. Truth is going to be the spiritual representation of all that's good. And silver is going to be the material representation of all that's good. Anything short of those two things is not the way forward, folks. I don't know how else to explain this to you. This is the highest level. I don't know if anybody else is, if there's ever been a historical figure that, I mean, short of Noah, right? I literally feel like Noah, except in this cataclysmic age, it's not one of, global tidal shifts or, microburst solar novas, which are probably coming too. But the most immediate problem that the world has is our fiat monetary system. Our operating system of how we actually function as humanity is completely bad code. And now you have these technophile, technocrats out there who are literally trying to warp humanity for their own selfish need, not for what's true or what's right, but to perpetuate slavery and lies through digital illusions of wealth that support their power. And it's all going to come down. This happens throughout all of history. And I don't see any collective solution. There's nothing that you could say, hey, put Chris on Capitol Hill and he'll be able to speak truth to these people. It will never happen. I already did it before. I wrote congressional testimony calling Congress and the Federal Reserve a den of thieves. I'm on congressional record writing that. Can you imagine what 10 years of frustration and me pounding the table at these sycophants that have impoverished America, sold their souls for what? Money? No, massive change is going to come, and it's only going to go to the people who have physical silver. Those are the ones that are going to be able to keep their heads about themselves when everything else is falling apart, because it's not just, you have a bad day in the stock market. It's going to be your jobs. It's going to be your family. It's going to be, prescription drugs that are no longer available. The lights may not come on. Like, stuff is just going to stop working. Study the collapse of the Soviet Union. It's probably going to mirror that in the United States, if not even more dramatic. And there's not enough people out there, folks. There's not enough people out there to turn this around. This is and I knew this going into this. I knew how large the problem was, how simple the solution had to be. I knew where I had to, to press forward. And I do think that this is it. But there's going to be a lot of places that are a lot of things that are going to happen before then. And I think at some point we're just not going to be able to get physical silver through the dealers, through the mints. They're either going to, clamp it down. I definitely believe that corporations are going to start making deals, if they haven't already, with miners. And then that completely cuts us out. You have to realize when big suppliers come in and say, hey, we want this for, like say Samsung needs it for their TVs or cell phones or stuff like that. That's permanently going to be cut off. And then Samsung's going to realize, well, shit, by locking up this physical silver, it's now also a strategic thing to protect their dollar basis. Just like Elon Musk so boldly going to buy another digital illusion of wealth of cryptocurrency, of Bitcoin and Dogecoin. If he was really smart, he would be buying physical silver. But he isn't. He's a Ponzi pumper. He's a salesman. I love the car. I love Tesla. But it's not worth the valuations that we're at right now. And unfortunately, the future of humanity is not going to be, sending rockets off to Mars. We simply just do not have the capital to do that. We're going to have 7 billion people who are going to be in a humanitarian crisis as a global generational debt-based fiat Ponzi scheme collapse. And if Elon Musk can't see that, then I don't know what else to tell him other than good luck, because he's riding on top of a huge wave that is going to, take everybody down. And I think it's imperative for people who are in power, who do know these things, like Charlie Munger and Warren Buffett and Bill Gates, who know damn well what I'm talking about with physical silver, to speak up, but they won't because they are part of the problem. Nobody's coming to save us, folks. I've looked at all the actors, all the players, all the other stuff. They're all in it for themselves. Nobody's going to tell you the truth and sacrifice their position. So I'm just begging people to get out there. Certainly secure as much physical silver as you can now. I think by March that we're not going to have silver available on the markets because of what's going on with the silver ETFs. The silver ETFs are now basically defaulting, saying that they can't even secure the money. The people are buying SLV and PSLV. They don't even know where they're going to get the next 1,000,000 ounces of silver. This is such a tiny market, folks. This is a one-way trip for maybe 10,000, 100,000 people, maybe globally of any significance are going to be able to ride this wave. That's how they've minusculized the silver market. Whereas once it probably represented 10 to 25% of the global wealth, it's now an infinitesimal amount relative to all the quadrillions of dollars of digital illusions of wealth in the bond market, the crypto market, stock market, real estate, privately held businesses, currency. There's so much other stuff out there other than physical silver, and yet the whole paper Ponzi scheme, our whole way of existence, is now in the hands of physical silver, and there's no other way out, folks. So I implore you to get out there, tell people about the Silver Bullet, Silvershield. Understand that we're doing great work here. For 10 years, I've released 500 designs encoding truth in the physical silver that will benefit from a global hyperinflation that 7 billion people didn't see. That's historically significant, folks. That's historically significant. That's like Moses for coming out and saying, hey, we can be free. Let's go. This is the way out. Physically holding those coins. Wherever there's an ounce of physical Silvershield, that's hope. Any physical silver. But why would you want government silver with the Queen of England on the back of it, or the United States federal government run by Goldman Sachs? Why are you guys rushing out to go buy government silver? They're the ones that are destroying it. Silvershield was the conscious individual solution. The one crazy guy that wrote a manifesto 10 years ago talking about bringing down a global generational debt-based fiat Ponzi scheme and the debt and death and deception empire that is run by banksters that have enslaved all of humanity, that have stolen all of our rights, that have driven us into wars for debts that had nothing to do with us. This is a holy war that is going on. And either you're stacking physical silver and Silvershield preeminent above it, or you're part of the problem. And that's fine. I have lots of people in my life who are part of the problem. I'm not being part of that. I'm not consenting to this anymore. This debt, death, and deception. This lesser of two evils. This, you're just going to have to suck it up until you die. No, I want freedom in my time for myself and my children, and never to be given back again. And it starts with becoming sovereign with your own finances outside the banking system and making money outside of the gripping hands of these collectivists. Watch their Ponzi's pop. Watch them scream in pain. It's going to happen. But you don't have to suffer with it. And this goes to anybody listening to me. I don't care who you are. I take no sides. I'm against collectivism, lies, fiat money, digital illusions of wealth, cryptocurrencies, these pedophiles, these warmongers, these political hacks that offer nothing to humanity, these parasites that just take from the producers. That's who I'm against. And who am I for? All the creative people, all the people who show love every day to this cruel world that we have, who suffer along with this. And I'm offering you a way out. And this needs to become a movement far bigger than Wall Street silver. Silvershield's already marked its name in history. Just because people haven't recognized it yet doesn't mean that 500 years from now, somebody's not going to dig up one of these coins showing from the time period of this massive, collapse of global economies that there was somebody speaking truth out there. And the few hundred people that supported the Silvershield group during this entire 10 years, and now they're motivated, and now they see the end. And now Silvershield prices are going up even higher on eBay. That's where I think, keep watching eBay for Silvershield. When there's no more Silvershield available, that's when it's it, folks. That's when my guys are so locked in, knowing that there's no amount of physical dollar price that they could sell, that they stop selling. And that everybody else goes, shit, I want some of that Silvershield, because that was the brand that made all of this happen. For 10 years, pounding the table, the greatest truth never told. And they'll drive up the premiums even higher. I mean, an average BU right now is already, 50% more than the average BU of any other government mint. And they just keep going up in value because they're rare. There's only 2.5 million ounces of Silvershield total out there. And probably 3/4 of that is just BU bullion. This is a quadrillion-dollar empire of lies, folks. Massive change is coming. This is the nexus of everything. Everything's going to go through this little point. Truth and silver. Silvershield's part of it. And it'll take time for everybody to get through there, but that's the only way to the other side, folks. And no lie gets the other side. We can't afford it.